I think our players handled that right. Baker, you handled it right. You do what you got to do to get your mind set. Randall, you do what you got to do. Whatever we got to do to make us come together as a team, y'all do it. It's football. I'm with it. What's up? That's Anthony Sellers.
That's Kelen Conley.
And that's Eric Jordan.
And this is
Browns in Our Blood.
Let's do it.
How did you feel about the win against the Cincinnati Bengals?
Thoughts on the win in Cincinnati? Eric.
All right, thoughts on the wins in Cincinnati. Well, let's start with the obvious. Baker looked great. Now, let's don't get twisted now. This is the worst defense in the league. 32 in rushing defense and 32 in passing defense. So we can't get too crazy. But what I saw with Baker was great, man. There's two plays that really stuck out to me a lot. First of all, he just feels like he's getting really accustomed to the NFL game. I think the game is really slowing down for him. And the way that he's very mobile in the pocket, the play to Antonio Callaway where he escaped out the pocket, went to the left, caught him out there, and then the play over the Fells, which you said you liked too.
Yeah, I really like that.
To me, I was like, oh man, I think the game is really starting to slow down for him. Yeah, Baker looked great. And I'm wondering the reasons I think Baker looked great is because a couple of players decided to show up and not drop some passes. And I'm speaking of Antonio Callaway and Njoku. Njoku, he's a roller coaster ride. You know, he gives you some good stuff. But this game, he caught everything. Yeah. And this is what we expect from him. This is what I expect from Njoku. When I saw this dude in that body and some catches that he made, I knew he had hands. During game time, it just wasn't, he wasn't producing. Yesterday, that's it. Callaway show up like that. Njoku show up like that. Man, because we could have had some games already look like this from some passes that they have dropped. One thing that we've been talking about that I really liked a lot, they had a full backfield and had Duke over in the slot. That's having all your talent on the field. See, they got me so scared to say playmaker. The word playmaker now to me is like,
You defined it last episode.
Right.
2 weeks ago.
Right.
Playmaker is a player who makes plays.
Right. They had Hilliard, they had Chubb, and they had Duke over there to the slot. Now,
they motioned Duke to the slot on that play, too, that you're talking about. Because he started on the other side. They had it Johnson, Hilliard, and then Chubb, and then Baker just under center, and he motioned out.
I like that. I think that's being creative, something that we've been missing with the play calling. Defense, whoa! Yes. 2 blocked field goals, the interception from Randall, Miles with the sack. We just look good. Like I said, we're not playing the greatest of teams. We're coming off the bye, and we're motivated because our ex-coach is over there on the other side, which we will get to later. I guess we'll save that. We got a whole topic for that. But, man, the boys look good.
I just think Baker's got a lot more control and freedom in the offense now. You can see it, and it's just evident. Absolutely evident in it. And his first 8 completions were to 7 different receivers.
Spreading that ball around.
Yeah, spreading it around a lot. So when you have people that are actually going to catch it and actually get through it, it makes it hard to focus on one player, which is something that I've been talking about and preaching, which I love. Duke didn't get as much run this week, but Landry didn't get much either. I think Landry had three receptions for 30 yards.
And y'all didn't really need it either.
Which is very impressive. Which is very impressive that we don't need Jarvis Landry, the 3-time Pro Bowler, to win, you know what I'm saying, to be productive.
Right.
I would still like to see a way for them now to find a way to get him going. Because if you get the 3 or 4 receptions, that's what I expect from Callaway. If you're throwing the ball 20 times a game, I think 3 or 4 to him, 2 or 3 to Duke. Njoku, 5. That 560 and 1, that's a perfect stat line for Njoku. Even if you don't get the touchdown, get 5 for 60 or 70 yards, he contributed, did his part.
I want to send a big shout out to that offensive line because they were putting in work all day long. And not to say anything that the Bengals have, like he said, is one of the worst defenses in the league. But they still got Burfict back there.
Yeah.
Who is, we all know, is one of the most dominant and also
dirty.
Almost with another word, but dirty players in the NFL. Yeah. And Baker was on his feet most of the game. And he had plenty of time. He made great decisions in the pocket. So, game balls all around for the offensive line. I thought they played outstanding.
Offensive line, honestly, should get credit for 2 touchdowns. They pushed Chubb in. Chubb don't get in that end zone without that push from the offensive line. And then Njoku, I love him to death, but the boy tried to drop for the 5-yard line. I love you, boy, but come on now.
And he got caught, too. He could have got a body slam.
Yeah, that could have went nasty the other way. But yeah, offensive line. I think it gives chemistry
And camaraderie.
Yes, it does, and that's a good sign for our squad. That's a really good sign for our team. Baker, you need to go out and buy Nick Chubb a steak. He got you an extra touchdown yesterday. Baker, you look awesome. Don't get me wrong. You the man. I'm not trying to say you the man, but that was a bad pass.
It was definitely behind the receiver.
And Nick went and did some superhuman thing. Which brings me to the last thing I want to say about this. I'm sorry, Nick Chubb. I'm sorry. I did not know. I just did not know.
I didn't either.
I mean, I knew he was good. I thought Nick Chubb was going to be an NFL player. That was never to doubt. When we took him in the draft, I was happy with him. I'm like, yeah, you don't walk past that. You know, even though I might have went some other directions, but he definitely in the pool of talent there. I'm like, yeah, he's dope, he's good. But I never figured this.
No, man.
I never saw
He's one of the
this.
top 5 backs. Like, he's had the most rushing yards since, like, week 7 or something.
Oh, he's a must-play in fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
When I do daily fantasy, DraftKings, FanDuel, you better believe, boy, keep that price low, that price tag low on him. Please, keep it, please.
They won't now.
Yeah, yeah.
All the way up.
Are you into Baker Mania?
With all that said, Anthony, how are you feeling about Baker Mania right now?
I just like it because it showed that he took a spot where the team could have really just fell apart. And in my mind, like what he's done with the offense after the KC game is just what he did in Oklahoma too. So he helped
taking them to another level.
Yeah, he helped make the team basically, like the offense, and bring them together. It just helped, like you said, camaraderie,
Leadership.
Yeah, leadership. They all came together and they're working great.
That's why I said Baker was one of the leaders of the team when we were on the Bucks show.
Baker Mania.
I've been sold on Baker for a while now. Like every time he touches the ball, it's like bake time in my head. So I just expect something special every time that ball leaves his hands. So I haven't been disappointed. How you feel about Baker Mania?
I thought about it from the NFL perspective of like the future of the league and where does Baker play, and I think, man, you get into that little character list of Patrick Mahomes, Jared Goff. Those are characters and some faces. The NFL got a really bright future with these young kids, these cute young QBs. I can't imagine what it feels like to be a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I can't imagine.
No, yeah.
But being a Browns fan and having someone like Baker as your QB, man, you can't tell me nothing, homie. Can't tell me nothing.
Most exciting to be a fan that I've been in a long time.
Honestly, I don't know if I've ever been this excited as a Browns fan.
For me, it's been a very long time since I've been this excited.
To me, this feels a little bit, I'm not going to go all the way, a little bit like LeBron. It feels like a little bit like LeBron to me. Man, you can't take your eyes off of him. The minute he drops back, you're like, what is he going to do? He got that swag. You know what I'm saying? No, man.
He's playing with confidence and he's playing fearless right now, which is very, very good for a young guy like him. Like, they took the shackles off.
I was getting ready to say, Williams and Kitchens took the shackles off. Absolutely.
Williams said, don't be afraid to make mistakes, and he's taking it to heart.
Yeah.
And it's proven to show that he's not making mistakes right now. Like, granted, it's going to happen.
Right.
There are going to be some mistakes and bumps in the roads coming up. But right now he's playing really great. And I like I said, I'm absolutely excited. Every game now is like very winnable game for us.
Yeah, and it's must see.
It's must see TV. Yeah. It's must see TV.
I think any NFL fan is tuning in whenever Baker's on their screen to see what he's doing. Whether it's third and long or if it's first and second, or first and 2. They want to see what Baker's going to do when he comes out of the snap.
I'll give you a perfect example.
Okay.
I've been wearing Browns gear forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like people want to talk to you now. Like, they want to,
they're coming out to work. Like I told you before we started recording.
Right.
I saw a guy today actually wearing the hat. Like last year, no hats, no Browns gear anywhere. I was the only one around that would wear it and see it and be proud of it.
Yeah, you see it all over the place.
You're starting to see it so much more now.
Yeah, I was
creeping.
I was in Wheeling this past weekend, and like on Saturday, it was all Ohio State stuff. So I was like, I don't want to see that stuff. And on Sunday, you see all this Browns gear coming out. And it's like, this is the most Browns gear I've seen come out in one place ever. It's crazy, man.
I couldn't imagine. Back to that whole thing about perspective. When I named it down like that, and I looked at it from far, like Patrick Mahomes, Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield. Mm-hmm. Baker's the bad guy. He's the bad guy. He's the bad. He's the heel, and that's so Cleveland. That's so Cleveland. It's so Cleveland. Yeah, Baker Mania, baby.
Who gets more credit for Baker's effectiveness, Greg Williams or Freddie Kitchens?
Going off of what we had just mentioned about the reins being taken off, Who gets more credit for Baker's effectiveness? Would you say that's Greg Williams-y, or would you say that's Freddie Kitchens, the new offensive coordinator?
Before you start, though, I want to say that came from a YouTube comment. Jeff Kiesler, I think, thought that would be a great topic because it's a very, very interesting question.
See, make comments.
I had a
make the
very
show.
long conversation with Jeff. Me and Jeff went back and forth a few times.
Yeah.
Jeff got some good comments. Honestly, I think it's a combination of it all, and this is the reason why I'm going to say that because.
Took my answer.
Well, I'm really going to be going.
Great minds.
I'm really going off the press conference I saw with Baker. And Baker's press conference, a lot of these morning shows, they'll chop it up and cut it up so you only see part of the thing. And that's what I've been seeing on most of them, where they just stop where he says, we just believe in the play caller, and they chop it. But he said something after that. After that, he said, it wasn't we're running something different than what Todd was running. Mm-hmm. It's just that we're executing it better.
Yeah, and he put his little twist. And
he puts his little twist on it. And I think that's because also they feel more comfortable. Less can be more. We don't know what was happening.
We don't care. 2 in a row. And the first road win in how long?
Since 2015.
Yeah. Come on.
I think it's a combination of Greg Williams. I think Greg Williams is respected in that locker room.
Yeah.
I know I respect Greg Williams from afar. So I know he's respected in that locker room.
Triple G.
Kitchens, it seems like, and him and Bake have rapport. And I, for some reason, I have nothing to give me this. I just have a gut feeling. I think Bake has a lot of voice and has a lot of weight in that room. Like if Bake sees something that he wants to do and sees something he doesn't like, in this room, which he might not have been able to do in Haley's or Hue's room, it's say, nah. But when he says it now, the coach is probably going, okay, you ain't feeling it, we ain't doing it. But
Andy Reid does that a lot too.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you're going to be out there, the one out there, you should have a little bit of say,
right,
and stuff. And that's one thing that
especially
has been
if
reported.
they know they're smart and
that's
they got
the thing.
high
That's one of the things that's
IQ.
been reported too, is that Kitchens has gone to every room. He's gone to the offensive line. He's gone to the running backs room. He's gone to the tight ends, wide receivers. And the QB room, saying what's the plays you like the most and trying to include those in. So,
I didn't know that.
When he's starting to do that, that I think is helping out and making it more effective, and they're really like getting into it, making it want to do. And then Greg Williams sitting there saying, "Don't be afraid to make mistakes. You're going to make them. Don't be afraid to make them. Just go and play."
Well, I tell you, if I was in an environment and a coach came and asked for any input from me, you got to get a certain level of respect from me.
Yeah.
You just don't get that. It's so much ego. Anytime a coach will come in and ask for input from a player that's out there, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm with you. I can ride with that. With that.
So I agree with you though that it is a combination, but I feel like right now it's something that's really working just because of how everything's transpired throughout the season.
Thoughts on Baker Mayfield snubbing Hue Jackson at the end of the game?
Anthony, how do you feel about Baker snubbing Hue Jackson after the game?
100%.
Or how do you feel about the interception being handed to Hue on the sidelines as he's the assistant?
I thought the interception was kind of funny. Honestly.
That was hilarious.
I thought it was funny.
Made every highlight
overall,
show.
Who cares about the snub?
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously, who cares?
Okay.
That's just my thought process. I really don't care. I mean, we don't know what the relationship was like, so.
True. No one will know what that relationship was really like.
I'm just glad we got the win.
Yeah.
Eric, what do you think about that?
Oh, man. I'm conflicted here. I'm a little conflicted. First, Baker and Randall, the way they handled Hue, that's what we want. That's exactly what we want. Let's don't act like football is not a warrior sport.
Can I stop you real quick? I feel like what they've done, too, makes it seem like maybe the locker room wasn't as in Hue's favor. Like, he didn't have as much control as what we thought earlier. Mm-hmm. Like 4 or 5 weeks ago. Does that kind of come across like that?
I don't know.
I feel like it kind of does, man.
Honestly, they used him going to Cincinnati. That seemed like that was the thing from Baker's press. And so, like, say he goes somewhere else, it might have been different.
Yeah.
It might have been different.
He ends up in New York or something.
You know what I'm saying? So we really don't know. We really don't know. Because if he did go somewhere and they still acted like that, then that would be confirmed. But in the press conference, they really kind of like stuck to the theme of it's about he went to Cincinnati. And he said this was how we fight and all that.
Yeah, but he was quick to say, too, that that's just his opinion.
Right.
You know, it wasn't necessarily the whole team's, so.
Right. But
it comes across
But that's what I was going into. What I'm going into is this. With football, when you hit the field, there's no friends, there's no family, there's nothing like that. The great players, they look for motivation. They look for it. They crave it. Like, give me anything. Michael Jordan's, your Kobe Bryant's. They want something they can use for board material.
Yeah.
That's got to be our culture. That's got to be like how we are. Period. That's really big for our team. So I think they did the right thing. I think we were supposed to be like that. Nah. slap your hand. That's Baltimore. That's Ravens football. We ain't friends on the field. We ain't friends off the field. You know, that's old school football too. AFC North to me represents old school football. You know what I'm saying? So
Smash mouth.
Smash mouth. We don't talk. When I see you in the grocery store, it might go down. I think our players handled that right. Baker, you handled it right. You do what you got to do to get your mind set. Randall, you do what you got to do. Whatever we got to do to make us come together as a team, y'all do it. It's football. I'm with it. With Baker, the great ones, and I think he's a great one, they really use that kind of motivation to make them execute. Some people just followed his lead with it.
Because he's a leader. That's what happens when you're a leader in the locker room.
No, he's a great one. Now, on the other side, from a fan, I see a person with Hue Jackson who was with us through our lowest moments. Our lowest moments. Me personally, as a Browns fan, I have a connection with Hue Jackson. I lost my father in 2014. He lost his mother on HBO and went into a room, shrugged it off, took a breather, and came out and tried to lead our men. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that with Hue Jackson. So, players, you did what you got to do. I got it. I get it. That's how we play football. It's war, and that's what warriors do. But Hugh, I understand what you're going through. And Marvin Lewis, that's what you do, bruh. You get your bruhs back. Get your bruhs back. That's how you pick up your bruh. But that's as far as I'm going to go with it. That's how I feel on it.
Absolutely nothing wrong with Marvin going back and rehiring Hue. He was with the Bengals organization before. Him looking out for another black coach, I'm all for that. But as far as the way that the Browns treated him on Sunday and them scoring as much as they did, they definitely got motivation from the fact that it was Hue across the other side of the sidelines. It was extra motivation because he happened to go to Cincinnati. And I really think that they just wanted to show Hue what they were always capable of, but he wasn't able to do for him. So I do feel like there was animosity there from different points. I did see at the end of the game where players were coming up to Hue and they were laughing and joking and, just the game's over. Like you said, the war is over.
Yeah,
even before the game. So I see both parts of it. I love the fact that the Browns did that to Hue because this is what Hue had, and this is what Hue wasn't able to accomplish 3 seasons, was to bring this kind of winning attitude. Sure, he didn't have the personnel yet. He had the personnel earlier. He had clashes with Haley. We don't know what went behind the scenes with the drafts and everything else. Excuses. He didn't even look at the tape. We don't know what went down exactly with why Hue didn't work out in Cleveland. But the thing is, Cleveland's better for it, and I don't care if Hue Jackson is over there catching L's and people are bringing him interceptions. And I feel for him in your story, what you said.
He got a job.
He got a job, and that's great. But the thing is, he's no longer with the Browns. He's the white shrew to Marvin Lewis in Cincinnati. I just say good riddance, best luck. I hope that when he comes to Cleveland here in a few weeks that the Browns beat him again, because I was rooting for you, Hugh, and I rooted for you in Oakland, and I just have lost all faith in your ability to be a head coach. But I think you're a good dude, and I'm glad you got a job.
I wish we wouldn't have let off the gas.
The defense held, though. I was worried about that, too.
I wish we wouldn't have let off the gas in the second half.
And I don't think the Browns expected as much out of the backup QB as he was able to give to Cincinnati, too. But the Browns stopped them when they needed to, and they made early stops that got them that big lead.
Even Baker talked about it after in the press conference. Definitely got to run the clock out, for sure. Need to take some more shots.
Can our Cleveland Browns beat the Houston Texans?
Next topic. Eric Jordan.
Yes.
How you feel about going to see the Houston Texans this weekend?
Oh, I'm a little worried of being drunken in love with the worst NFL team defensively. The Cincinnati Bengals win. I'm worried about that, man. We go from the 32nd worst defense to the 3rd and 2nd best defense in the league. It's night and day. We're going to get a real test. But honestly, I think we up for it. And I think we're going to win. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be 17-14.
Okay.
Cleveland. I think our defense can handle this. Watson's a lot to deal with. Yeah. Watson's a lot to
and he's
deal
healthy.
with. Yeah. But I think people really underestimate our defense. I think they're going to show up. I think our defense is going to show up.
They got to force a couple turnovers, but I think it's going to be a good game, too. Very, very excited to watch it.
Score prediction?
I'll go 24-21.
Browns win.
Of course.
32-17. I think it'll be close early, and then the Browns take it away. Yeah. I think it's going to be close till halftime, and then halftime adjustments. I think the Browns make some plays, and they win going away, 32-17.
32-17. I'm with that. Browns in Houston. Let's make it clear. Browns win in Houston. We're already news. We just make news. That's just people love the Browns because people in love with the Browns underdog story. But I'm going to tell you now, we beat Houston. We on everybody's radar for real. That's a real win. It's a real win. But that'd be a big statement for us to beat Houston.
Play fantasy football on FanDuel with us.
Speaking of fantasy football, we played this week. I don't think nobody here won.
I think Jonathan and Johnny was first and second.
Johnny Harmonic beat me by 0.14 points. Not a full point. 0.14 points. I just needed either Emmanuel Sanders or Antonio Brown to make one more catch. One more catch. And that 350 was mine. That 350 was mine.
Yeah, my late playing lineup didn't work out. I finished fourth.
I beat both of them though.
Yeah. So Monstalung still in the lead, 1395. I'm second at 1274, and then Jonathan's at 997. So unless he has a couple of sleepers and actually scored like 100 points the rest of the way, he's gonna win again.
Big shout out to Mischievous for winning yesterday.
I think it's
he won the daily.
He's won a couple.
A little shout out.
Yeah.
That is his third win, and me and you are tied for 4 wins this season.
And big shout out to our new member, Johnny Harmonic.
The Man Bear Pig.
The Man Bear Pig. You got me yesterday, but don't get used to it. Don't get used to it.
So if you want to play FanDuel with us, the link's in the description. Get it in early. Most of the time, there's spots open by early on Sunday morning. So description's below. Get on that.
Good job, guys. Way to have a full fantasy league this week.
And shout out to Gary for finishing last. Good job, Gary.
Yeah, where you need to be. Buster.
If you're into this great show that we do called Browns in Our Blood, you need to subscribe on YouTube. And by doing that, you will never miss a video on the Monstalung Soundvizion page. There he is. And if you hit that bell, then you'll never miss a video upload, whether it's Browns in Our Blood or something else that he's working on. He has great content. And you'll never miss a show. And if you're into podcast,
then you can find it on -podcastgroup.com.
That's right. And we got Browns in Our Blood t-shirts. Got a link at the top of -podcastgroup.com.
Beautiful shirts.
Monstalung merch.
Where's mine, by the way?
You know what? They keep telling me they left it on the door and they send it back. I'm going to leave a note for them saying, leave the shirts here.
And then also, there's Podcast Group t-shirts too. Yeah, so until next time, that is
Eric Jordan. And
that is
Anthony Sellers.
And he is
Kelen Conley.
And this is
Browns in Our Blood.
Good job, Brownies.
Let's go,
Good
number one
job,
draft pick.
Brownies.
Number one draft pick, Raiders. Fire Gruden.